Hi guys, welcome. Today we're going to be moving through a little bit of a hip flow, a little bit of a hip opening sequence. So without further ado, get a comfy position, grab a mat, and let's get started. We're going to start in a child's pose position. So just train tracking through the feet, sitting down onto the heels, and just walking the arms forward, dropping the head down for me, and just taking 2 really deep breaths in and out. Another one in and out. From here, we're just going to walk the hands back and we're going to turn the feet out to the sides. So just to the very edge of your mat. You're then really gently going to sit in between the heels and then come forward into a 4-point kneeling position, sitting back into the heels. Just go really gently with this. We're only just starting to warm up through those hip joints. So you do not have to go all the way down to the bottom of the ground. We're just really gently here moving back and forth. This feels a bit gross through the knees. Keep your feet train tracked and just move forward and back through the hips. We're here for 2 and 1. Nice work. Coming back into a 4-point kneeling position, we're just going to do some rolling cat-cows. So we're going to come up and down through the hips, through the chest, through the lower back, just moving as it feels good for you, up and down throughout this movement. If you want to add a little bit of rotation in there, we're moving the hips from side to side as we flex and extend through the body for 2 and 1. Reverse the direction for me for 3. Keep the breath moving for 2 and 1. Nice work. Okay, we're going to come into a downward dog position. So hips coming high, bending and extending through the hips, or maybe you want to bend and extend through the legs. Just doing whatever movement feels good here. And when we're ready, we're going to step that left leg in between the hands for me, dropping that back right leg down. I'm going to bring both hands on the inside of the knee, of the ankle, and then really gently here, we're just going to do some circles through this front hip. So just really gently moving around for 2, 1. Reverse the direction for me. Just a little bit of playful movement here. Whatever feels good. It doesn't have to be exactly what I'm doing. It could be going forward and back. Whatever feels good, whatever you feel like you need here. And then we're going to plant the right hand a little bit closer towards that left foot, and really gently with the left hand we're just pushing out towards the side ever so slightly, and take 2 deep breaths for me. Nice. We're coming back in, we're planting that right hand, knee comes in, we're drawing through inner thighs so that knee is now straight, and we're rotating up towards the ceiling. If you want to make it a little bit more intense, a little bit stronger, we're lifting through that back leg, holding this rotation. Good work. Bring that hand down. We're going to slowly walk that back foot back into a high plank position. If you want to move through a little flow here, we're coming down, lifting through the chest, tucking through the toes, and coming back into that downward dog. And let's move through the other side. So we're bringing that left foot forward. We're dropping through that back left foot. Hands on the inside of the leg. And we're just moving forward and backwards, round in circles, whatever feels good here. For 3, 2, 1. Let's just reverse the direction or have a play with some other moves. For 3, 2. Nice work. And 1. Lovely. We're going to gently move that left hand in. Right hand goes on the inside of the knee, really gently pushing that knee out towards the side. For 3, deep breaths. For 2 and 1. Coming back into the center, that inner thigh is switched on. We're rotating up towards that side, the right side. Again, if you want to make it a little bit more intense, we're tucking the back toes, lifting up through that leg for 3. Nice and active here for 2. For 1, drop through that knee. Hands come down. We slowly walk that right foot back. And if you want to come down through a vinyasa flow, feel free. A little bit of an up dog cobra. And then tuck the feet, come back into a downward dog. Nice work, guys. Okay, we're going to drop the heels down, the knees down, and come back to sitting onto the heels. A little bit of a break here. We're going to go for a little bit of a stretch out through the toes. So what we're going to do is tuck the toes underneath the heels. You're going to make sure that you're including your pinky toes. So come around if you need to and just grab the pinky toes. And we're just going to stay in this position. So this starts to just give a little bit of a stretch through the plantar fascia at the bottom of the feet. Starts to build a little bit of heat through the arches. And just hang out in this position. Try and be still. Try and take a couple deep breaths in. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Untuck those toes for me. We're going to sit back onto the heels. You're going to walk your hands back for me. We're stretching out the other side of the feet now. We're going to lift up through the knees, sitting onto the tops of the feet, maybe onto the toes. As far as you feel comfortable going, hands are in whatever position you feel supported in. Don't go as far back if this doesn't feel good, but a nice stretch through the front of the feet. Not super comfortable. For 3, 2, and 1. Coming back down. Nice work. Okay, we're going to come into a sitting position and we're going to come into a 90-90. So we're going to have a 90-degree bend front leg, 90-degree bend through the back leg for me. And then we're going to turn the hips to face the right side. So get into a comfy position where you feel like you can rotate your hips towards that front side. Might feel a little bit clicky, a little bit gross in this back hip, totally fine. If that doesn't feel as good, you can bring that knee in or decrease the angle between the knee. From here, we're just really slowly going to bring the chest forward over this right leg. Coming down, if you can, into a forward folded position. Feeling a nice intense stretch through this right side here. That is too much. We are staying upright. We're staying supported with the hands. Otherwise, we're taking 2 deep breaths into this position. And then coming back up into sitting. We're going to lift through this back part of your shin, of your leg. So we're planting this knee down. We're lifting up through the foot, flex the foot, and come back down. For 3, good. For 2, and 1. That's a super hard move. Let's rotate round. We're going to keep the knees nice and wide, and we're just going to 1 at a time drop a knee in towards the center, still at that 90-degree angle, and come back. Knee down into the center, and come back. For 3, if you can get it all the way to the ground, amazing. If not, just go to wherever you feel like you can. Leaning back will give you a little bit more room. It'll make it a little bit easier. If you want to make it a little bit more intense, stay nice and upright. Good, 1 more on either side. Lovely. We're going to end up in this 90-90 position again, and we're going to come for the opposite side. So 90 degrees if we can. We're turning the hips to face this left side, and nice and slowly we're folding ourselves forward over this left leg. Again, if that doesn't feel comfortable, we're coming up into this sitting position. Otherwise, slowly walking down. A couple of deep breaths here. Such a good stretch. And we're coming back. We're going to lift up through this leg this time. This is my not as strong, not as good hip. So bear with me. You're going to try and lift that one up and down. Don't forget to flex through the foot. Lifting up, and down. For 2. You're doing better than me, no doubt. And 1. Good, and come down. Nice work. Let's just windscreen wipe the legs from side to side a couple of times. Try to keep a 90-degree bend if you can, or if your hips have had enough. then just letting them fall wherever feels good. Lovely. Okay, we're going to come into a low squatting position here. So what you're going to do for me, get into this position however feels most comfortable for you. We're going to have nice wide feet, nice wide hips, toes can be pointing out, they do not have to be straight. And then we're just going to rock from side to side, maybe a little circles, lifting and lowering the heels, whatever feels good, whatever feels comfortable. And then eventually find just kind of stillness in this movement. So we're just in a really low squat, knees are nice and wide, feet can be pointing out. They could be parallel if your hips allow it. Let's just let them fall wherever feels good. We're going to have the hands in this position, tuck the knees on the inside of the elbows on the inside of the knees. And then just really gently push the knees away. We're taking 3 deep breaths here. Good. Nice work. We're going to go for a little bit of rotation here. So keeping this right hand on your right leg, we're going to rotate up towards the left side for 3, 2, 1. Come back down, left hand, left foot, rotating up to the right side for 3, 2, and 1. Coming back down. Nice work. We're going to swivel round here. And we're going to just widen our stance a little bit. So we're going to widen that stance, knees planted, and we're coming for a forward lunge here. Hands can go on the inside of that left leg. So we're just coming forward and backwards here, just gently to start off with. Pillow or towel can go onto that back knee if it needs to. And when you're ready, we're just going to make this movement a little bit bigger. So we're going to walk our hands back, straighten out through this left leg. Walk our hands forward, come into a nice big bend through that left leg. Walk our hands back, straighten, walk our hands forward and bend. One more, walking our hands back and straighten, walking our hands forward and bend. Really gently here, we're just going to swivel to the side. We're going to swing this left foot forward a little bit and then try and hang it out in a side position here. So this heel ideally is planted. If you need to have it lifted, that's totally fine. If you need to support with your hands, also totally fine. Heel is driving into the ground, bum is down. It's an active position for 3, 2, and 1. Walking your hands over, we're coming to the other side again. This is not my strong hip. Try and keep that back heel planted. If you can't, then you're in this position with me with that heel lifted. We're hanging out, hands are on the ground for 3. Nice and active through this leg for 2 and 1. Turning around, we're dropping that left leg down, knee down, coming forward into that lunge position, bending through that right side. And then when you're ready, a little bit of movement back and forward. Coming into a little bit more of a straightening. So then we're walking back, straightening out through that front leg. Walking forward and bending. Walking back and straightening. Forward and bending. One more. Walking back and straightening. Walking forward and bending. Nice job. We're bringing that leg round. Get out of that position however you feel most comfortable. We're going to end this here lying on your back. It's coming onto your back. Knees hugging in towards your chest. Maybe you grab outside of your shins. Maybe you can grab your outside of your feet. And we're coming up for a happy baby. 3 deep breaths here. Try and let go of any tension you feel still in your hips or your lower back. For 3, for 2, and 1. Lovely. And when you're ready, legs can go down, heels together, let the knees fall open. And again, just 3 deep breaths into this position. Lovely. Stay here for as long as you need, as long as you can. Hopefully that has helped. Hopefully you feel a little bit looser, a little bit more roomy through your hips and through your lower back. If you liked this video, let me know. You can find me at Peak Flow Physio, and I'll be there to answer any and all questions. Thanks so much for joining me, guys, and hopefully you enjoyed this.